Hello and welcome to the Dream Receiver Show. Yes, as you know, I want to inspire 1 million people to live an abundant, trusted, well-balanced life, and I cannot do that all on my own. So that's why I reach out to amazing friends to bring on guests, my mentors, my coaches, my friends, all onto this show to not only help me, but help you. And we are doing it with not just one-on-one, we are doing it to many.
One on many.
Right?
Yes.
One on many. And I'm super happy and excited to have Cheryl here today. Cheryl, thank you so much for being here. She has an amazing entrepreneurial spirit, and she and I, believe it or not, both started out in the same direct sales business. Mm-hmm. So she'll tell you so much more about what she's up to. Welcome, Cheryl, to the show.
Thank you, Diane. I really appreciate you asking me to be here, and let's have some fun.
Yes,
and see where we're going to go.
Yeah. So I met Cheryl through Make Your Mark. However, we found out that we were both in direct sales.
That's right.
And so tell me, after you did the direct sales business, you left shortly around the same time I did, actually.
Yeah.
What type of business did you go into right after that?
Well, I went into a business that I never thought I would go into it, first of all. But really what happened, I'm a firm believer that absolutely everything happens for a reason. So one day I dropped my kids off at school, came home, and I could hear the voice in my head, which to me is God's voice, saying, Cheryl, I need you to read this newspaper. And I felt like I was a teenager going, read this newspaper? I don't like to read the newspaper. I'll read the cartoons in the newspaper, but not the newspaper. And it was so clear I needed to read the newspaper. So I threw the newspaper on my dining room table, went into the kitchen, made a green tea, and thought, okay, I'll read it. Front page was the story of this woman that birthed this concept of bringing a portable pole into women's homes and teaching them basic steps on pole dancing. So I went, and this is way back before it was on Oprah. So this was like 2004, 2005. And I read her story and I went, who would have thought of doing that? So I had the strong intuition to give her a phone call and just say, businesswoman to businesswoman, I just want to wish you all the success. Like that was it. So I Googled her name, found a phone number, couldn't believe that she actually answered the phone. Her and I got on the phone for an hour and a half talking about empowering women. So she intrigued me so much. I said to her, I want to come on a party. Like, can I come with you? Can you ask your hostess? And that didn't work out. But right after that, I felt like God was knocking on my door. Cheryl, you need to get involved in this business. And I'm like, conservative girl, I don't think so. Knock, knock, Cheryl, you need to get involved in this business. And I'm like, I come from a Christian family. How am I going to tell my dad that I'm starting a pole dancing business? Yeah, that just no. Third knock, I thought, okay, clearly I need to do it. And long story short, that's how I met Colin Sprake. Him and I became friends. And then when he started Make Your Mark in 2009, that's when I joined him.
So just back to the pole dancing. What would a typical party, or was it considered a party plan?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
How did it work?
I gotta say, Diane, it was the funnest business I ever did. My cheekbones were so sore from laughing with these ladies all night. The best way I could describe it is like when you're a little girl and you got your girlfriend over in your room and you got the music cranked and you're jumping on your bed and you're having so much fun. It was like that. So what happened is we would teach very basic steps. It wasn't about sexual being. It was really basic steps and about allowing a woman, no matter what age, what size, but to feel, what's the best way to say it? The 3-inch part of the steel was amazing and how powerful that was for women. they would just open up like a flower. It just had magical energy around it. It was fascinating. So it was all about fun. And what we did is we did stagettes, of course, with all the girls.
Right.
No guys were ever allowed to be in the room. We did a lot of divorce parties. We did birthday parties.
Okay, now you know what my next question is going to be. How in the world then did you meet Colin Sprake through pole dancing?
Well, when I phoned up this lady that I talked to, her business partner was Colin Sprake. So back then, Colin was going to do, his intention was to do Make Your Mark in 2005. However, this was a distraction for him, perhaps, or maybe him and I needed to meet. That's the reason it happened. So he didn't do Make Your Mark right away. He decided to get involved in the pole dancing, which was called a pole lot of fun. And then we added a spa lot of fun to it. That everything happens for a reason. So he needs to experience that business to really be able to take Make Your Mark to the level that he's taken it to.
And speaking of that, everything happens for a reason. I find it so ironic, funny, like attracting like type thing, where you and I, we said, let's have a meeting and talk. And so we did that.
We did.
And then right afterwards, I go to a furniture store with my husband.
And we're like, right
like
there. Literally
bumping.
Banged into each other. Yeah.
And the hallway part, not even.
But I know.
And then another time right after that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the next one was.
It was like
like the next day. And it was just, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? We need to be working together. We need to be joining
That's right.
joining forces. So you've definitely been a huge part of my growth.
Yeah.
I had my first workshop, and Cheryl shows up with a bundle of flowers and speaks up and congratulates me. It was incredibly amazing, and she's always just been there for me. Anytime I am feeling down or stuck, because like yourself, have you ever felt just like giving up?
We're human beings. Yes, I would be lying if I said no. Absolutely.
And also, you're such a fabulous speaker too. I always admire when you did the exceptional customer service. So I could just feel your heart. I can feel your care, and you speak so well. So did you just wake up one day and just be able to speak?
Well, my mom could tell you a story probably, but no, my very first speaking in front of a crowd, like business-wise, I left half my PowerPoint out. So I think for me anyways, I can only speak about my experiences, that I really had to learn. I learned. I did a mistake, and I went, okay, I don't do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. So it was learning, and it was getting myself out there and being very, very uncomfortable for me. I was an extremely shy child. I was one of those childs that would hide behind my mother's skirt, and extremely shy. And I had to constantly push myself out of the comfort zone, constantly. I'd always go look at those people. Oh, I wish I was like him or her. I wish I could do that. Well, stop wishing and just do it, is what I had to say to myself.
And what pushes you? What makes you do that? What makes you drive past that and just do it like you do? Like what is it within you? And obviously it's not just for the fame of it all and standing up there talking to the wall, of course. So what is it that drives that?
Self-doubt, I had a lot there. And what I've realized in my life, learning and growing, is that often when I have felt I wasn't smart enough, that was so not the truth. Or when I was thinking, I don't have so much knowledge to share with others, that's not the truth. We all have our experiences that we've come from. We all learn something, so there's always something that somebody needs to learn. Whether it's something that I've experienced years ago and now somebody needs to learn it. I live my life like I feel like we're all a piece of a puzzle and somehow we fit together to make that beautiful picture on this planet. And so I live my life, and when I walk on a street or wherever I'm at, I think if there's a little boy or a little girl watching me, I want to make sure I'm acting the right way.
So it's kind of the change you want to be in the world. So you show a child to act this way.
Yeah.
You're being that first.
You're lead by example, let's say. Right? Mm-hmm.
So when you are speaking, that's the whole change that you hope to see in the world, like your message. Your message is.
Yeah, I've learned now to get rid of the false belief that I hung on to for years, and that's another story about that I wasn't smart enough, and I knew where that came from, and it took me a long process to let it go. That now, when at any time, when I can give someone a little gold nugget, and they walk away with it, and they get to take it and experience it and grow with it, then it's like, thank you, God, for allowing me to do what I do.
I just love that. My favorite words are, I never thought of it that way before.
Yeah.
That drives me. So you and I had a lot of the same coaches and business mentors back in the day. When we were both in direct sales, but we never met.
I know.
Each other.
Crazy. We so should have.
Don't shit on me. Anyway.
You're right.
But yeah, it was all divine timing. It wasn't right. But I found that there was a lot of affirmations that we had learned back then. How much of that have you taken from those business experts that we used to see? How much have you taken that into your business now? Has there been quite a bit?
I believe yes. But what's funny is I don't notice it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's just I've incorporated it in my being now. Mm-hmm. Like if you were to look back 10, 15, 20 years ago, different person. Mm-hmm. We all evolve as human beings, or we should evolve as human beings. And when we learn something, we implement it, and then it can become who you are. I mean, I remember looking at, back in the day when we did the direct sales, one of the ladies, Dracy, I would just look at her and go, I so want to be like you. And so anywhere I went, I would go, what would Dracy do right now? And if it wasn't what Cheryl would do right now, I would do what Dracy would do. And that helped me get outside of my comfort zone, is doing what I knew she would do.
Yes.
Right?
So now you're working with Collins Brake. And how many years has that been now that you've...
Since 2009.
2009.
So 9 years.
And I remember... you saying that he worked out of the basement of his home and all that, and a lot of the ideas that have come up has come from both of you, and a lot of the inspiration of the mountains and different things. So you've helped build this empire. What's the main goal of Make Your Mark, would you say, for that?
The biggest, for Colin... When he goes by a business and the business is there today, and he goes by tomorrow and it's out of business, that breaks his heart, because he knows it does not have to be that way. And a lot of entrepreneurs will start a business because they fell in love with a product or service, and now they want to turn it into a business. They never went to business school. And us as human beings, we don't know what we don't know until we stand beside somebody that knows. So when we started, he had developed a one-day seminar on sales and a one-day seminar on marketing, and the 2-hour event, and that's all we had at the time. And then every time he just kept going, okay, what can we provide for the entrepreneurials for the next step? And then everything started to be created through all the time. So now it's a whole system.
Yeah, that was why I'm coming to my 2 years in May now.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? And I had the business sense from the direct sales, and then I had gone to Sedona for all the training for life coaching,
right,
hypnotherapy, and like all the feel goods and the timeline therapy to get people to get rid of blockages and all that kind of stuff. And then it was, I need to market myself. I need to not say I'm a life coach. That I need to expand on that. I had learned so much, and then the every 2 weeks
accountability,
masterminds,
best mindset,
all of that. I would definitely not be doing this show right now.
Way to go.
So I thank you for going there and persevering and going past all the comfort zones and
all the universal challenge lines that we went through. Yes.
Exactly. So you have the office, the office, the Make Your Mark office is located actually just up the road here in White Rock. But it didn't start out that way.
No.
And you also have quite a number of staff.
Team members,
yes. And what I loved when I came to visit is that you don't call the boardroom the boardroom.
No, brilliance room.
Brilliance room. And you have things up on the wall about everybody's dreams and goals of all the...
We definitely
really
do things different.
Yeah.
Well, number one, we're a strong believer that there is power in words. So a boardroom sounds pretty boring. Boardroom, sleep time, right? And Colin says, well, no, that's where the brilliance, like we were looking for a name, and he came up with the brilliance, because that's where you're creating. You go into a meeting room to create and meet and talk and get ideas. So let's brilliance room. Our client care is called the Love Pod because they love our students, right? We want them to love our students and take care of them. So yeah, we come up with
something
different
else for the accounting room too, or something too, wasn't it?
We call it happy money. So
happy
AR
money
is happy money because you want to collect the money. You don't want to have to go on doing AR today. Well, happy money. So when our team would say, if we ask, what are you working on today? Happy money, the smile would come on, right? Otherwise it'd be, AR.
Right.
Right?
And when you invited me over and we were going to have the meeting, so I came in and we said, okay, just come to the office first and then we'll go out for coffee. I had a red carpet set out for me.
Blue.
Oh, sorry. Blue.
But it was the red carpet idea,
I felt
yes.
like blue.
But it was blue, yes.
Yes, I had a carpet set up for me. I had all these notes, and everybody signed.
Everybody signed, welcome Diane.
Mm-hmm. And I started to cry.
You did. Well, we all came out of the office to give you a hug, too. And yeah, it's
really different, really different.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you. I guess we've got to wrap it up because I'm getting the wrap it up sign. I just really want to thank you for coming out today and staying late.
My pleasure.
And being on the show and sharing so many great stories and nuggets that people can take home.
Awesome.
So thank you, and I definitely want to have you back.
Oh,
on the show.
I'd love to be back. So thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to subscribe, and you can find Cheryl at MYM.
Make Your Mark, yes.
It's MYM Success.
My email? Is that what we're talking about?
First of all, the website for Make Your Mark
the website is mymsuccess.com.
Yeah, and to reach Cheryl, your email is?
Cheryl, Cheryl, B for Bishop. So Cheryl B at mymsuccess.com.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much. and we'll be back soon.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.